Hello and a good day to you, sir. We are your students from Tutorial Group 9 for the unit FST10014 programming. We are the boys and our team consists of three dedicated members. I am Irwan Shahwong.
I'm Mandy. And I'm Lennon Jonathan.
For this unit's project, we have developed an innovative solution called AttendancePro. What exactly is AttendancePro and what does it even do? Technically, AttendancePro is a Python-based program that generates and processes the attendance management in a company. So far, you might have a small insight of what the program objective and purposes are. To make it clear for everyone, the objective and purposes of Attendance Pro is to simplify the attendance tracking and enhance one's organizational productivity. Moving on to the scope of the program, our program excels in delivering a user-friendly and accurate attendance report. Other than that, it is also able to show insights which can be very useful for a company to identify potential challenges. However, one of the downsides of our program is that this program is currently available as a desktop-only program with limitations such as data security concerns and dependency on accurate user inputs. As a demo, we will be showing you the overview of how the program looks like to the users. When I first launch the program, the user will be shown with a welcome message followed by a login prompt from the system. This login input consists of a username and passwords which we will be providing in the README text file inside the folder submitted. When a wrong username or password is entered, the program will show a message saying wrong username or password. And then it will request a new login input from the user again and again until the login credentials are correct. Once the correct login credentials are entered, the program will continue by showing a list of function options that can be selected by the user. If a number that is above or below the given range of options are entered by the user, an error message will be shown and the user will be required to enter a new input again. So, moving on, when the first option list of employee is selected, a huge list of the company's employees' name and ID will be shown to the user. Meanwhile, if the option 2 is selected, the program will now request an employee name and ID which can be found through the first option of the program just now. However, if any wrong input of credentials are entered, an error message will be shown again and the user will be brought to the main menu. Once the correct information of an employee is entered, the user will be given options to choose from which information of the employee does the user want to check. For the first option, personal information, the basic information of the employee will be shown. As for the second option, a statistic of the employee's attendance will be shown. There will also be a pie chart option that can be shown to the user. If the user wishes to see the pie chart, Y should be entered and a pie chart will be shown. To continue with the program, the pie chart tab must be closed first. Moving on, when option 3 is chosen, the user will be prompted with an option to save the session before being brought back to the main menu. If the user chooses Y, the data session of the specific employee will later appear in the history section of the program. If the user chooses N for the save section, the data session of the specific employee will not appear in the history section of the program. That is all from me. Now I will pass the presentation to Matthias to proceed with the rest of the program demo.
Thank you, Iwan, for your presentation. Guys, I'm gonna explain menu 3 until the end. So, when the user, when the overall class is chosen, it will display overall employee information such as total employee, total number of employee present, and total number of employee absent. This it retrieves this data using method from the calculation object. Not only that, this code, when the code run, it will ask to whether the user want to display pie chart for overall employee attendance. If the user chose Y, the program calculates the percentage of present and absent employee. Thus, it generates a pie chart using these percentages, visually showing the attendance distribution. So the user need to close up the pie chart. On the other hand, when the user chose number 3 again, and if the user chose N, the program exits this prompt. Next is history menu, where when the user chose that, it will display previous section history. This method read and display the content of a file named history text file, and it will show a record of past attendance session, allowing user to review historical data. After that, the the setting menu, choice 5, where user can choose between number 1 and number 2. If number 1 is chosen, this method allows user to update their username and password, where the new password must meet specific criteria such as the length, character types, and slogan. If the new password is valid, it is set to password text file. When the user chose number 5 again, is another option which is reset history number 2, where users are asked to confirm if they want to reset the attendance history. If confirmed with Y, the history text file is clear and reset, with a header indicating it has been reset. But if N is chosen, the reset action is cancelled. Last but not least is menu 6, which is basically the lockout and quit menu. So in this, so the code show uh, text indicating that the user log out and quit. Where it will show thank you for using Attendance Pro. Have a great day and logging out and quitting. That's all for me. I'll pass the next part to Lennon.
Thank you, Irwan and Matthias, for the program overview. Hello, I'm Lennon, and I'm going to explain the coding of this Python program. This program consists of three modules. Firstly, I'm going to talk about the main module. This module basically put everything together. It imports functions from other module, and this module handles the input entered by the user, such as the login function, and managing the menu option chosen by the user. Next is the employee output module. This is where everything happens. I'm going to highlight this module more than the other module. As you can see, this module is divided into 6 classes. This first class handles the login procedure, which reads the actual name and password received and the username and password input by user. Then it will compare it to allow only the user to access the program. Next class is the list of employee class. This module is interesting because it imports and reads data from a CSV file. A for function is used right here to create a loop printing all the employee name and their ID when the function is called. Besides is the employee class. The init function initializes the employee name, ID, and additional attributes such as age, department, and current attendance status. The load employee data function reads the employee data from CSV file and then match the user input with the data in the file. It retrieves and stores the employee detail such as age, department, attendance, and overtime hour. Next is the display attendant info function, which print all the employee attendance information, including monthly attendance grade, which are calculated using the grade function from the calculation module that I'm not gonna talk about right now. We're going to talk about it later. A key feature here is the use of the matplotlib library to display a pie chart. When a user is prompted to view a pie chart of their monthly attendance, the program generates a pie chart to visually represent the percentage of day the employee was present versus absent. The chart is created using the plt.py method, where the attendance data is passed as an argument and various properties like color, label, and exploded slides are customized for better visual appearance. For example here, the pie chart that we use are crimson red and lime color. The save session function allows user to save the attendance session data to a history.txt file. The function right here check whether the employee data has already been saved and append the information if not. This prevents duplicate data from being saved into the history file. Moving on to the overall class. This class shows the total number of employees and the number of employees that are present or absent. This class also consists of a pie chart. It works the same way as the pie chart in the class above. Just this pie chart displays the percentage of the present and absent of employee. Then we have history class, which only display the search history of the user. This is done by reading the history.txt file and nothing much here. Lastly, in this module, there is the setting module where user can change the login detail or reset their history. For the change username password function, the username.txt file is opened in write mode to change the previous username. Something happened to the password, just it required the user to create a password that meet this criteria. We have imported remodule to help filter out the password that doesn't meet the requirement. This promotes a better security for this program. Then we have the reset history function. To remove all the history from the txt file, we open the history.txt file in write mode to reset everything that have ever been written before. So that is it for the employee output module. Okay. Last but not least is the calculation module. This is where all the calculation in the program take place. This module calculates the percentage, grade, and the present or absent and overall number of employees. For the overall, present and absent function, CSV file is imported to count all the information from the data in the CSV file. So that is it for the coding explanation and also the end of this presentation. Thank you for taking your time to listen to our presentation.